The Department of Justice is suing Kentucky and 4 other states over what it says is failure to produce voter rolls.
This brings the Justice Department's nationwide total to 29 states and the District of Columbia. The lawsuit names Kentucky Secretary of State Michael Adams. According to the DOJ, Kentucky did not produce the full voter registration list upon request.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says it is an effort to, quote, ensure transparency, voter roll maintenance, and secure elections across the country, end quote from the U.S. Attorney General. We have reached out to Secretary of State Michael Adams, who says in part, quote, Kentucky law protects voters' personal information, and I will not voluntarily commit a data breach by providing Kentuckians' personal data to the federal bureaucracy unless a court order tells me to, end quote from the Secretary of State. We've also reached out to the governor's office for comment. We have not heard back from them.
A woman